Hi, my name is Laura Harvey and this is a video about early language development. I'm a speech pathologist and doctor of early intervention, and we see lots of children with language delays. So here are some of the common tips and tricks to help your child start communicating. The average range for communication development in regards to language is as follows. By 12 months, we expect children to start using on average 3 words. By 18 months, they should have around 10 to 20 words. By 23 months, so just before they turn 2, we expect 50 to 100 words. After that, at 2.5, or whilst the child is 2, they start putting words into phrases and their vocabulary expands to around 500 words. At 3, children start combining words into 3 to 4 word phrases and their vocabulary reaches around 1,000. So there's quite an exponential growth. Now, if your child's not communicating at that level, that's absolutely fine. You can start early intervention, but before you do, here are some tricks and tips to really help. To help your child communicate, the first thing you need to do is get face to face so you can see what they're looking at. Once you know what they're looking at, you know what they're thinking about. And then you say a word to talk about what you think they're thinking about. We need to match your words to what they're thinking about, because this is what's going to lay down information. If you're talking about the bird in the tree and they're looking at the ant on the ground, that is not very helpful. So, first things first, get face to face and see what they're seeing. From there, you start using an interpreting method. So, when you say what they're thinking about, use short sentences. This is a less is more kind of situation. One of the common mistakes we find parents doing when we have children come in for therapy is that the parents are talking too much. They're trying their absolute best, credit to them, but their children are having trouble because they're overwhelmed. So if your child's not saying any words, start using 1 to 2 words. So they're looking at the ant, you go ant, little ant. And you don't need to go much further than that. If your child is using 1 word, you can use 2 to 3 words. Look, an ant. See the ant. Crawling ant. And that gives them an opportunity to hear what they could possibly say so that they could then potentially copy you. Now, they're not going to copy you unless there's a space in the conversation. So as we know, when infants start babbling, they babble and then you would babble back. This is the beginning of a conversation. We can start circles of communication in this kind of way. So they babble, pause, you babble back. This is the same for language development. So we need to give our children space and a reason to talk. So you see your child looking at the ant. You say, oh, ant, and then wait. They might look to you. They might point at the ant. They might try to say ant. Either way, they're doing something to take a turn. Then you say something else. And make sure you then wait afterwards. You are starting a conversation, and conversations start at the very beginning. It's not a situation of the more you say, the better it is. It's establishing the conversation turn-taking patterns. Start practicing this at home. Get on your child's level. You might be on the floor, you might be sitting in front of the high chair, and say what your child is looking at. Just use a few words and then wait to see what they're going to do. You then say a few more and then wait to see what they're going to do. Give your child opportunities, don't overload them, and make sure you're talking about what they're thinking about. This doesn't need to be done for hours and hours every day. Just try to do it as often as possible whilst they're getting dressed, whilst you're eating your food, during the bath time, whilst going for a walk. It doesn't need to be intensive, but we want highly frequent practice. This is why parents are amazing, because you are the ones who are going to make the difference. We're going to be providing lots of extra little tips and tricks, so if you want to learn them, please subscribe and you'll be notified when a new idea comes online. If you have any questions that you would like us to answer, Please feel free to write them in the comments below. We'll be looking at them and making a video to answer your questions.